Good morning. I'm Denise Dryden, here each week to talk to you about what's going on, how do we understand it, what's the energy doing, and how does it affect our bodies, our relationships, our work, everything, right? I'm an integrational energy coach. So what I'm doing is taking energy and taking really practical insights and skills and bringing them together for you. So today I want to talk about trust because trust has been coming up all week in my clients and my friends and me. It's like, what do we do when things are sort of rocking and pushing against the things that we think are solid? That the sureties, the things that we know have always been true for us are starting to move around a little bit. And it makes sense, right? Because externally, if you go to the video from last week, I talked about how we've been building up this into a different level of change that's energetic, that has light. Go watch that. I don't want to spend time on that today. Um, but I want to list off some of the things that we may be experiencing. All this week, we had M class solar flares, which are going to nudge us and irritate our systems, require us to drink a lot more water and to take care of ourselves. And they're going to start agitating the things that are out of sync within us. But we have this continued astrological pressure with the big players. And I read an article and passed it around to a lot of my peers on this Mars Neptune battle. Mars being this representative of fire and masculinity, and the emperor, sort of like, God, let's get in there and make something happen. And Neptune being this big ocean that's like, go ahead, but I eventually will win or will reside because I'm vast and I'm deep and I know how to hold this. So we're hitting against a tide, an ocean that's going a direction that we have to decide how are we going to play with that, right? We also have the political and global stuff that's just constant. And let's see what else. I think that's it. And so I want to talk about trust and define it because I like to go through my little dictionaries and go like, what is trust actually about, until it starts to talk to me. So trust is the firm belief in integrity, the ability, the character of a person or a thing. You can trust the solidity of a foundation or a dock or a diving board, right? And you can also trust the character and ability of a human. It's confidence placed in, makes sense. It's the belief in probability that this person is going to react a certain way. It's like that determined trust that when this happens, they're going to do that. They're going to do that. They're going to do that. It's when we feel that another person, place, or thing is dependable. And so we build confidence and we build security, and we build we meld these two together. I have confidence and I have security in knowing what's going to happen because it hits our beliefs. So when something changes, you know, like somebody comes in and talks to you about a really different level job, when we're dealing with illnesses, when we're dealing with financial um, constraints, when we're dealing with shortages in our world, when we're dealing with things that change, it's going to affect our predictability, right? So then those things that we had confidence and security in are starting to rock. So it makes sure that trust is the biggest issue that's going to be up with all of us right now. Makes sense because things are changing. And we personally are going to change. We're going to outgrow, we're going to deepen, we're going to expand, and we will be experiencing that sort of rocking at the same time. I brought the Osho Zen Wheel of Fortune card because what I like about this is that the outside is always moving and changing. There's always chaos and ins and outs, and even when you get to the center, there's still changes, right? So what we want to talk about is that when these things hit on the outside, they shatter our confidence and our security. They break us apart, and then we don't know if we can trust. We don't know if we can trust again. We don't know how to recalibrate and find trust within us. Um, what happens when a dynamic relationship, when a leader we had confidence in, when we find out that there have been manipulations behind the scenes, hidden secrets, wrongdoings, when someone's hiding addictions, when someone is withholding key information from you, whether it is a lover, a partner, a child, a boss, a friend, a family member. It's what happens when you all of a sudden realize, ooh, this is not what I thought it was, or this is so much bigger than what I thought it was, right? Then our confidence gets rocked because we have to now move and shift. We have to move and shift, and we have to, and the first thing that happens is we go into fear and doubt. We're like, oh no, it's getting really crazy out here, right? and and then there's this solidity. Isn't What do I hold on to? What do I hold on to that is solid? And so we gravitate and we start to look around. I believe that we're all in trust work right now. I think that that's the period of time in our world history that we're at. We've been building solid foundation pieces that are reliable and dependable and almost rote boring structures of systems that we know how to count on. And these are being rocked apart. They're being shattered. They're being disorganized. um, our expectations, our dependability concepts, our security is going out the door. And our attachment to holding on to something and saying, this is what I need in my whole life so that this is secure, is starting to move, right? And so what whether it's our dreams about money, it's our marriages, whether it's the way our children are not thriving in school, whether it's the work that is just like dead, not happening for you, don't like it, don't want to do it anymore. Okay. So the thing about trust is that it's internal. I love this. This is the Sacred Rebels deck. It's internal. It has nothing to do with the outside, right? Um, you can choose to respond and navigate with it. It's up to you to do this. And so, what I like about this is that the further you get into yourself, the more stable it gets. You see the balance of the yin and the yang symbol in the middle, which means that in order to address stress or address trust, we have to recognize that there's stress going on out there, and then we have to go internal. And then from that internal place, we respond and we navigate. So trust is multifaceted, it's multidimensional. It's based on experiences and stories and desires and needs and hurts and patterns. And so, what I would say is that trust is energy. Trust isn't a thing. It isn't. It isn't a person. It's what we hold and place on them. So it's an energy. It's not solid, and it moves and it shifts and it changes. Right. So what do we do now that this concept of trust is now an adaptable, moving energy system that we have to play with? So I have 5 tips for you on how to do that. Okay. Number one, recognize that you are dealing with an energetic essence that's moving and shaking and bouncing, and it's sort of it provides passion for us. It provides purpose. It provides focus. It provides security, right? That this trust in our mind, in our body, in our emotions, in our spirit is placed on how to coordinate and play and reside within and around this energy, right? That's the first thing, is that if you really go after it as energy, you realize, oh, I can always work with this. Number two, trust is divine. How you hold it, how you allow it, how you journey with it, how you partner with it. Think of all the stuff that Rumi talks about partnering with the divine. So it's about trust is about responsiveness. Responsiveness is that feminine feeling of like, if this goes there, I can choose. Am I going there with it, or am I going to walk with it and continue to walk with it and keep my eyes and ears open and say, this is fun. I'm enjoying the journey, right? It's adaptable, right? And trust, you look at this, trust is endurance. It's being able to realize that it's going to go really rocky on the outside, and it's going to go smooth, and it's going to go rocky, and it's going to go smooth, right? So when you take endurance and you put it with trust, it means that I'm going to go on these rides, and these rides are going to require patience and responsiveness and adaptability and love from me, right? Number three, I highly recommend that you develop your own relationship with intuition, so that you can say, what's going on in here. That's where we do this inner work. What is my gut telling me? What are my feelings showing me? It's like we become an observer, and we expand our perception, and we we build other perspectives so that we can go bigger and realize, oh man, at that time in my life, this was huge and I was spinning. And now when I look back on it, I wasn't. I've done this a couple of times by going back over old journals or old conversations and gone, oh, I was much more grounded than I thought I was, right? So use your intuition. Get your clairs. I've got this book. It's got a list of clairs in it. Go after and find out what it is that how do you collect information and how does it feed you and build this internal sense of trust and adaptability, right? Number 4, get curious when something shifts. It's almost like to me, the life is very dull and very patterned and predictable. And then when something flutters up, I'm like, that. I want to pay attention to that because that's interesting to me. That's what has my attention, right? So notice what catches your attention. Notice what fears it brings up. Oh no. And then play with those fears. Play with what's going on. What is this? And bring them up and deal with them. Play them out, normalize them. Of course, I'm going to be afraid. Of course, I don't know what to do with a new job. I've never been out of a marriage before. I don't know what to do with a child that doesn't go to traditional school. These are going to be, we have to normalize them. They're not going to go away, right? They're not going to go away. They just need to be shifted. Okay. And 5, the last one. And it starts inside of you. It's going to go with you wherever you go. Right? So take it, not try to shut it down or harness it or ignore it. Go with it where it wants to go, right? Because the term is follow the energy. So when trust as an energy field says, hey, I'm going to take you closer to the edge of the cliff. I'm going to take you into a complete shattered marriage. I'm going to take you into financial ruin. You go, oh, okay, here we go. Because it's trying to dislodge something in you. Trust is where you go, okay, I'm going to show up and I'm going to play with this. And it's going to free you if you let it, right? So I'll close with the quote from Rumi, which is the journey is the life to live, right? Journey is it'd be really fun if I could actually like read a quote, huh? The journey is the life to live. It's all about the journey with this big ball of energy, which is how we adapt and move our body in the trust in the 3D world, in what presents itself and who we are and what we do with that. So if you want to work on that, if you want to play with that, go contact me. Get a hold of me on denisestryden.com. Send me a note. Tell me what you want to do. And we will, of course, see if there's a way we can play. We can play in sessions. We can play in individual sessions. Plus, there's tons of stuff on the Indigo Assignment, which is my book. There's also a plethora of other videos here that you can watch. So make sure that you like this, that you subscribe so that we can continue bringing these along. And you have a fabulous Sunday. And I will see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.